Okay, light machine gun fire against multi-hex building in scenario 4 Tula of Iron Cross by 3W. Okay, since I played last, I looked online again and I could not find, I thought I saw it at some point, but who knows where it was. I thought I saw someone online, somebody weighed in on what they thought you're supposed to do with these these trees. See, these are normal trees. They're greenish and they're full round drawings. Then you have, well, actually it is. It's around the bombed out buildings. Generally around the bombed out buildings, you have these very different looking graphics that I assume are trees, and that I assume are blasted trees. I'm thinking about playing them. I'm thinking of playing them as artistic rendition only, as artistic flourishes. For now, meaning that I'm going to treat them as trees, no different than the full green trees like these. That's what I'm going to go with for now. So my little memory aids over here. It's the German player turn. It's the first game turn. It is phase 6. Phase 6 is the moving fire phase. So basically, phasing player units can fire if they have not already, and units that have moved can also fire, but with a penalty. Basically, an extra die. Firing unit moved to this turn plus 1 die. Okay. So this here is a reminder to me right here, number 1. This is a reminder to me that when I was looking at the situation after sitting down here at the table again, I wanted to fire this medium machine gun. I wanted to fire the medium machine gun there at, I think I wanted to fire at, who did I want to fire at? I wanted to fire at, and now I'm trying to remember. I think I wanted to fire at this Russian unit there, which is in a multi-hex building. So I wanted the medium machine gun to fire right down the line there, but they cannot. Crude weapons that have moved may not fire during the moving fire phase. They are an exception. So they can't fire. Also, by the way, my own convention using these old ATS move markers, if a unit attempted to move but didn't, I put the marker on top of them to remind me of that fact. There isn't anything important rules wise. I'm just curious how often units are going to attempt to move but don't. I'm thinking here about failing the performance check. If I put the movement arrow behind the unit, that's my reminder that they successfully moved. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 here. All right, so then I said, well, oh, I forgot to finish my marking here. So light machine gun will be marked with a 6. I think that's it. So then I looked at the light machine gun up here. Now the light machine gun is up on level 2. Level 2 right there. The dark top there is just 1 hex. I saw the light machine gun there and decided, you know, I want the light machine gun to fire down onto these 2 Russian soldiers, 1 up, 1 down, in the corner of this multi-hex building right there. Right there. So This was my first observation into the town from an elevation. So I wanted to see if I was going to have to use the where is it? This right here. I photocopied it. It's on the map, but it's the sighting chart. There, sighting chart. Again, I made my own photocopy so I can have it separate. So I wanted to know if I had to use that. So I went ahead and moved these other Germans aside like that, and I strung line of sight, and it does miss the house here. Otherwise there are no obstructions, so I didn't actually have to use the sighting chart yet. So he has a clear line of sight down the hill into the town, to the corner of this multi-hex building. Then trying to remember why is 3 here. Let's see, that's the target. Okay, well, anyways, announce the attack, determine line of sight, which I did, then attempt observation. The units here are in multi-hex building. The base observation for multi-hex building is 5. I'm wondering what to do with the fact that you're observing the hex, I think, for AP fire. Oh, I just answered my own question. No, actually, I think you're observing for a unit in the hex. Where is that? It says if one unit in a hex successfully observes, all units in the observer's hex are considered to have seen enemy units. Only one unit in a hex can attempt to observe. We know that. Anyways, I can't. Okay, so you have 2 units that have a different. Because there's a modifier for a non-AFV unit like this that is down, but that would not apply to this soldier. So are you trying to observe the easier to see soldier, the one in the upstate, and when you observe one unit in the hex, you observe all the units in the hex? I cannot remember. Oh well. I can't remember. But anyways, they didn't even come close because the observation number is 5 and the observing unit has moved, the LMG. It's marked with the move unit there. He moved earlier. So he would have only observed if he had rolled a 2 or a 3, which he didn't. Okay. So there's that. Oh, but that's again, that's only to get the benefit of placing the observation marker for that reason, because machine guns that are firing at a building do not have to observe, or no, I said that wrong again. They will not reduce their, AFVs and machine guns do not have to observe targets in hexes that are in target hexes that are buildings to fire their full AP factors. Okay, so he's still firing at 9. So anyways, I left these dice because this is the first. So the first unit on in the target there is 4 dice for the terrain, the multi-hex building, and 1 because the fire has moved. That's the penalty for having moved and firing in the moving fire phase. I left these dice out to show how close it came. So they needed a 9 to pin, and so if they had just gotten that, they would have gotten it. They didn't even come close to getting anything on the unit that's in down state, though. That's rolling 6 dice.